Welcome to Creating Intimacy and Respects podcast. I'm your host, Omar.
And I am your co-host, Cheryl.
And today we're going to be talking about hot and cold topics.
And some warm.
So what is a hot and cold topic?
Are you asking me?
Well, I was asking the audience. So let's talk about it. The hot and cold topic.
All right, cold topics can be, let's see.
Something that annoys you, but is not going to set you off.
The toilet paper roll not being replaced.
Or your dirty clothes thrown on the floor.
How about your shoes left in the office?
Oh, yeah, that's a good cold topic. But it can get hot.
Yes.
If she trips over those shoes and face plants.
Or if I'm in low resources.
Yes, that can be a hot topic. So cold topics is just something that annoys you, something that your partner does or says that just gets under your skin. It doesn't make them go angry, but it does annoy them. Kind of like a pet peeve.
Yeah. I can't think of any right now, only because I'm in such a great mood. But let's say the dog hair on the furniture or not being swept up can be an annoyance, but I don't expect anybody to take care of it. So that could be a cold topic.
Other topics, maybe when you're driving, you don't use a turn signal. That's not really a hot topic for us, but it can definitely be a hot topic. What about reading too loud? Interrupting when I'm reading or trying to do something?
What about not using the coaster for your cup on the table?
On the table, it doesn't bother me, but on like the nightstand or on the desk, that kind of gets annoying. I have to wipe it down real quick.
Okay. What about bad table manners?
That doesn't bother me as much. Well, no. I take that back. There can be like having a dirty hat or just a hat on the table. That bothers me.
That's interesting. I hate bad table manners.
What about noisy eaters?
That's... I'm going to be quiet.
When people take 10 napkins, like our children, when they might use 10 napkins versus just one.
Okay, so all of these things can be a hot topic, though, or a warm topic. So what makes it cold or hot? Who decides cold or hot?
Well, if one person takes it to a hot topic, it's going to stay in the hot topic space. So whatever might be cold for you is not always going to be cold for me, and what is always cold for me may not always be a cold topic for you. So if it
like where bad table manners to you it doesn't really bother you, but to me it makes me crazy, then it's going to be a hot topic for us.
It's going to be a hot topic for our relationship, yes. So what are some other examples that we can use?
How about taking a phone call when you and I are talking on the phone?
Okay, so for me, that's not always I don't think that's ever been a hot topic for me. I know it annoys you.
It greatly annoys me when we're having a conversation and you choose to answer everybody else's call. I believe that is a trigger for other things, though, that we've discussed in our training about time.
Which I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of these hot topics can come from triggers. There was something here where I was looking. We have a list of just various examples of hot and cold topics. And I don't remember what popped into my head, but triggers can definitely cause I know what it was. The word belligerent.
Oh, I hate that word. I hate it, and I have also used it when...
And so it's a word that I never use in my own vocabulary. And I know that if I were to say it, it would set her off. And it has nothing to do with me or with our relationship.
It's past relationships.
But I know that's a very hot topic.
It triggers me deeply.
So going back to triggers, a lot of hot topics can be caused by triggers. One of the key things about navigating through hot and cold topics is just understanding what's hot for one person and what could be cold.
The other thing is knowing where they come from. So, for example, we just talked about the word belligerent. I know where that word comes from for me, and he knows where that word comes from and why it triggers me. So we choose not to use it. Now, if he did use it, it would be like a jab and a knife in the back because he knows that it's going to trigger me. Once you have those conversations and you know your triggers, it helps to avoid hot topics. They can become warm or non-existent if you use those tools.
So what happens when a conversation or something that you did goes from a cold topic to a hot topic or goes immediately into a hot topic? What do you do after that? You use tools. And we have tools that we use in our relationship to help us navigate through those very hard discussions, those very hard to deal with hot topics. And some couples don't have that ability to use tools.
Sometimes it's self-reflection. So once you've done some self-reflection within all of your history and life, sometimes you may need to go seek a counselor for that, coaching, going to personal trainings or even our couples training. Those finding out where those triggers are can help you understand, why does it make me crazy
when I say the word belligerent?
Or yours might be tapping your nails or somebody's nails, tapping on the counter. Why does that make you crazy? Who or what does that remind you of? Once you've determined that, then you can go into what we call a boundary script. So we're going to use and model that for you with the word belligerent. Let's imagine Omar had said,
"You're belligerent."
That would be war. I would certainly be praying, or he should be. Well, let's not say that. Go take that out.
Let us keep rolling.
Okay. So he's called me belligerent. Now that would be a hot topic for me. In order for me to go through this, I would say to him, Omar, when you say the word belligerent to me, it makes me feel like I am unworthy and less than. It takes me back to a time when someone else used that word to me and made me feel like I am not smart enough, I'm not good enough to do anything. I react by getting really angry. I will shut down or I'll start throwing things at you. So I do that because I don't want to feel like I am less than, that I'm not good enough. So what I'm asking you to do is to please not use that word. Are you willing to do that? And if not, what are you willing to do?
Yes, I am willing to do that.
Now, sometimes it might be something worse than that, and they're not able to do that. So if they're not able to do that, you can ask, what if anything, are you willing to do? And usually they'll come up with a response that is something they can do. So you just wait for that or go through that process again of the boundary
with the same
script.
So let's say, for example, I am not willing to stop using the word belligerent, but what I can do is not use it directly towards you. And if she does not like that response, then she will come back and say, when you tell me that you're not willing to stop using the word belligerent, I feel, and she goes through the whole entire boundary script again. And at the end, she's asking me, are you willing to do that? If not, what are you willing to do? And then again, I'll say, this is what I'm willing to do or not do.
ultimately, when you're having a calm conversation and you're speaking with your mate, he's not going to want to make me feel stupid or less than. So his response to me typically would be, I will do my best to not say that word around you because I don't want you to ever feel that way.
Which she is correct. I normally would not go with that. However, thinking about the other couples who don't have this tool in their toolbox, they're going to react differently or say different things. Some people are not willing to come to a compromise or negotiation where they're going to be pretty much stuck.
If you're in a hot topic situation and both of you are getting tempered, then that's when you call a break and come back to it when you're in better resources, able to talk about whatever it was that triggered you into that hot topic. Because it does matter. Whether it's a hot topic to me or not, it matters for the harmony of my home, whether or not I'm going to follow boundaries or honor my mate.
Now, one thing that you need to consider when you're using a boundary script is look in the mirror first. What behavior is it that you need to change?
What's going to happen if they don't honor that boundary?
And what's at risk if you do not make that change in yourself?
If there's consequences, are you clear about those consequences and what they are? And if you aren't, they are not either.
And also on the flip side, a boundary isn't a boundary until you have told them clearly what the consequences are. If it is something that you both need to work together on, ask if they are willing to do that after you have finished the script.
So something you can say if you're asked, is this something you need my help on, or do you want to do it on your own?
We use a boundary script in order to resolve our hot topics in our relationship. We use a boundary script in order to resolve hot topics in our relationship. Now that we have shared our story and what works for us, we know that you are here because you might have some interest in how to resolve your own hot topics. We would love to help and guide you through resolving conflict with little to no effort. You can visit our website for more information on our training seminar. Also, if you need something sooner, you can schedule for coaching that's also available through our website. And thank you again for listening to Creating Intimacy and Respect podcast.